So I'm gonna let you guys take it away.
Yeah.
Okay, introduce yourself a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so ourselves, our name is Ice Volcano Ice Cream. So basically, we use a very fresh ingredient. So we use milk and cream as the ice cream base. So that's something very like 100% Canadian dairy, which is a little bit different than what you buy in commercial ice cream, which lots of time you see frozen dessert, you see a whole bunch of different names out there. Now, our way of making ice cream is very special. We use liquid nitrogen to make them. What's so special about that? It's because the liquid nitrogen is a very cold substance. It's at minus 196 degrees. Okay, what that does is when you make ice cream at home, you put it in the freezer for 4 to 8 hours to get them freezes. Because this liquid nitrogen is very cold, it freezes in about 60 seconds. Now the result of that ice cream, because there's no time for any water or anything to get into the ice cream, so what the result of the ice cream is very, very fresh, very, very smooth. So we're going to make that, and then everyone can see.
So now,
how do we make this at home?
Yeah, because I don't know if
everybody's
going to
go home with some liquid nitrogen today.
Now, liquid nitrogen is not something that you can normally have in a household now. But then what the recipe that we have today is something that you can actually make them in your ice cream maker. Okay, so you can actually have a mixer add-on attachment, or you can just basically mix a batch and put it in the freezer, and that's your ice cream.
I've also included on there, this was kind of like a frozen yogurt. We're using the same base or the same ingredients in terms of the figs, same flavors, but it's something that you can freeze and you can use your food processor as well if you don't have an ice cream maker. I can tell you the difference between that ice cream and this ice cream obviously isn't the same, but it's, unless you have liquid nitrogen, this is a great way to make ice cream as well. So take it away. Yeah, food processor. So yeah, it's the directions are on there, and essentially you can mix the ingredients together, you put them into the freezer, so your base and whatever flavoring, and then stir it every once in a while, and then while it's almost semi-frozen, you could stick those kind of frozen chunks into the food processor and let it blend, and it gives you a pretty nice creamy consistency. But the difference here is because it freezes so fast, you get this exceptional creamy ice cream. It's fantastic. It's delicious. So it's more of a treat for you today, I think.
Yeah, one thing to add on, if you're making it at home, a very important point that Jeremy pointed out, it's before it freezes to solid, you want to turn them. That's called curing process. So make sure basically you're mixing air into the ice cream before it completely becomes a milk ice block.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you do that, you can never scoop them out. That's also what the commercial ice cream do. They can allow to mix in air into the ice cream. Commercial ice cream, their government let them allow up to 100% air into it. So that's why next time when you go, if you have premium ice cream or regular ice cream, you can tell the weight difference. Next time when you go and buy them, take a look. They actually sell by volume now. They don't sell by weight because they keep adding more air into it so that they use less ingredient. That's why sometimes when you scoop them out, it's scoop very easy because they have lots of air pockets in it.
You're paying for air.
All right. So
I knew it would happen.
What do we have today? What are we doing?
So today we're going to make a special recipe. It's a fig and honey ice cream. So again, we have an ice cream, milk and cream mixture here. And then our partner Gordon is going to make them and then show it to you guys.
So why are you using a mix of the milk and the cream?
So a mix of milk and cream, it's a balance of your fat content. Right now, our recipe, it goes for about half and half cream and whole milk milk. You can actually adjust that.
Yeah, which one?
The white.
White container. The mixer?
Yeah.
Okay, we could turn. Why don't we turn it a bit? Can we turn it?
Yep.
That way you guys
Like
can.
that?
That work a little bit better? Maybe a little more sideways?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's good.
There we go.
perfect.
So basically for the milk and cream mixture, you want to have some milk fat into it because that's how you actually make ice cream.
So with this recipe, could you do a skim milk or a really low-fat version?
Yes, you can do a very low-fat version by substituting with a skim milk. What that changed in your consistency of ice cream, it's a difference between a soft ice cream versus a hard ice cream. So the more fat content is the more hardness of the ice cream. That's why sometimes when you go and buy them, if a premium ice cream is really hard to scoop, that's why because there's a very high fat content into it.
So we're mixing it in, and I mean you can use, any ingredients. Figs Figs are just delicious. I love figs, but it's very, very simple to make the topping. Pretty much what we did was chop the figs up and let them simmer in a small pot with some honey and some lemon juice. And then you create this kind of, exactly, and that's what it looks like after. Cooks down. You can do that with, what else do you, mango? I know you guys do with mango, strawberry.
Mango, strawberry, fresh fruits, anything that you can think of, because once you're making it at home, you can add in anything that you like, and it will still freeze the same way.
Squash, maybe?
The other thing about our recipe for making today, we're not using any milk or, no, sorry, I'm not using any egg or no egg yolk into it, so that's why we're adding honey into it, so that's act as a thickening agent. Because some people, they can't eat a raw egg, or you don't want to go through the process of cooking eggs and stuff like that. So honey is a great way of thickening your ice cream base.
Great tip.
What would you do if you wanted a dairy-free version?
So what a dairy-free version, what you can substitute that is, if you don't use milk, use coconut milk. Coconut will be another substitution for dairy-free.
Nice. So now that's the liquid nitrogen. You can see the smoke coming out.
So what you're seeing now is the liquid nitrogen.
It's cold.
It's very cold liquid. It comes in contact with the milk, everything freezes, and it changes from the liquid to ice cream in about 60 seconds.
This is like a chemistry lab kitchen now. I love it.
And it's evaporating pretty much instantaneously. That's why you're seeing that smoke.
Yeah, when
coming
you
out.
see the smoke, it's the actual water, like water with vapor condensing. The other thing, lots of time people ask, is liquid nitrogen safe? Now, the liquid nitrogen, it's a freezing process. So what you see, it comes in, freezes everything, evaporates to air. Air that you're breathing in is 78% nitrogen. And the other thing, it's a liquid nitrogen, the ones that we have is like a food grade, so that after everything is evaporated, there's no impurities into your ice cream.
That's amazing. And I love adding the figs. You're getting some fiber in your ice cream, which is going to help. You know, you're not going to really have this high blood sugar response because of the additional fiber in there. And you're getting some potassium, which helps to lower blood pressure as well. Some wonderful calcium from ice cream.
So hopefully our grocery stores will start carrying some liquid nitrogen in the near future. Because I mean, it's, you know, really talk about fresh ingredients and just the simplicity. And that's it. That's how quick. It's the fastest ice cream.
So yeah, so basically that is the ice cream now. So you save yourself about 8 hours.
Yeah. We're gonna serve up some of this food. These guys are gonna start working on some ice cream so you guys can try everything.